Yeah, they took that beautiful black on black.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Popcorn Watchlist podcast. I am your host, Xavier, and with me today are the usual guys. You got Anthony, say hello.
Hello, hello.
Got Danny, our info man,
What's up?
and color commentary and out of touch Gen Zer, Zach in the corner.
Yo. Like, what's the most millennial thing? Yo.
Millennial? No, I
That's
guess
very
it
80s,
is.
I guess.
You should have said
90s
that's
maybe.
fire.
What up?
That's
no,
fire.
it's off the chain or it's the bomb.
No, that's like 90s, right?
Yeah, he's
Oh.
saying millennial kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so welcome everybody to a special episode. This is what I believe is our 51st episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
And to celebrate that and to commemorate it, we figured that we're going to change up the format a little bit. So what we're going to do is go straight into basically a set of movie recommendations to give to not just our viewers and listeners, but to the group internally in here. And so what we're going to do is start off with a movie series that we all just got to recently watch. Some of us obviously again, and some of us over for the first time ever. But moving forward, we'll then get a recommendation from someone here in the group. We're going to have them go ahead and recommend that movie. We'll come back next time and discuss it. But that also will give us a really fun way for you all, the viewers and listeners, to watch it with us and get your takes, your inputs, or if you've seen the movie already, we'd love to share your pros and cons or just what you like about that, and we could use that for our next episode and help you guys kind of be along for the ride as well. So without further ado, I'm excited to talk and introduce the rundown of this because this is a series that only come out fairly recently, right? Like what, like 6 years, Anthony?
I think so.
2014
Yeah.
was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez, that's
9
8
years.
years. No, 9. I can't count.
Yowzers.
Wow. I was like 6 years. No, it's more like 9. But this was sort of like part of the, what I call like the wombo combo of action, of revival action. Because you had not only The Raid, but I think we had these movies come out at the same time. And without further ado, it's also part of the Keanu Reeves renaissance, like the resurgence of Keanu Reeves just being an all-around awesome dude. And with that's your hint, we're going straight into John Wick. This basically spawned a franchise of just badassery, great, well-shot action, and a surprisingly deep amount of world building. So Anthony and I have seen these movies multiple times because we like to study and look at all the awesome action choreography and the behind the scenes of how everybody got into it. But seeing these two guys over here with me, Danny and Zach, they hadn't seen the whole series. So I would love to get your guys' input on your strong takeaways that you got from this series.
Spoilers ahead.
So I had only seen the first one. I had not seen 2 and 3, but I think Zach hasn't seen any.
I hadn't
of
seen
them.
any. I hadn't seen any by the time we had watched them.
So like we won't go like a rundown of scene by scene by scene, but like tell
Just
us
overall thoughts.
your overall thoughts on the first one, because I know you knew stuff because of all the internet memery about John Wick, and that has been existing again for 9 years. I can't believe that, 9 years. But yeah, man, what'd you think?
Whoa.
Okay, so with me starting off. Okay, so I want to first say that I am not really a big fan of action movies. I've always been
All right, I'm out.
avoided. I've always avoided them because I always find a lot of them to be kind of the same cheesy kind of repetitive thing.
He's thinking of like the old Van Damme and Arnold action movies and Stallone action movies, and
I don't think he's seen those.
the Charles Bronson.
Well, I
movies.
feel like those would be
Are-
classic action, like classic.
My back.
But the
in
thing
their
is,
own
they're
rights.
80s, so they're like 80s cheese. So
They're meant
you may
to
not
be
like
that.
that because
You mean Time Cop isn't cheesy? I'm kidding.
you didn't like Top Gun.
But yeah, go ahead.
And which is why like I haven't seen a lot of like just pure action movies with like fighting and guns and stuff like that. But this is like this franchise is one of the few that I'm like, you know what, this is actually a really well done, or these are well done action movies with a really cool choreography, like you mentioned before, where a lot of the fighting was done really well. It looked really cool. It looked. I mean, there were a lot of flips for sure. Like I feel like every other move,
like judo, aikido
was-
flips,
yeah, it
and
was like
sambo
some kind
flips,
of-
yeah.
flip, and then a lot of the like the gun, the firearm sequences were pretty cool too. And then of course, like with the internet, like you were saying, the puppy, you know, that's one thing that I remembered the most from hearing about these movies, and that's about it. And then also in the second movie, the scene where Common and Keanu Reeves are shooting at each other from within the train station. That was like one of the only scenes I had seen before.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we'll get
The
to
movie.
we'll get to part 2 in a bit, but you know, you left out that they also took his car, that beautiful Mustang.
Yeah, they took that beautiful black on black Mustang.
Yeah, that whole, I was just like, dude, I can't believe that was like the wombo combo of like, you don't get to grieve, you don't get to do anything right now, but guy, and they awakened the Baba Yaga. Every time that they said that was kind
He's a
of crazy.
man of focus.
I feel like the way when they said it the first time, like me and Zach were like, "The what?"
Well, I
Like-
immediately thought of Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man.
It's the
Who?
same. It's
Yeah.
it's the boogeyman kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the work of gypsies. Yeah. God. That
But now-
Malakian is the best.
Now,
Anyway,
one thing
sorry.
that I don't remember from the movie, what was the whole reason for stealing the car in the first place?
He
Because
just wanted
he just
it.
wanted the car
just
because
wanted
he
the
was a
car.
little shit.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
putting gas in the car.
Pardon our
and he's
French.
like, "Hey,
How much you want?
it's a
for
nice
that?
car. How much you want for it? It's not for sale."
It's not for sale.
And then he
Everything's for
spoke back
sale.
in
He's like-
Russian.
And then he said,
he said it in Russian.
"Yeah." He
He's
says
like,
something like,
every bitch has a price.
right. And then he's like, "Not this bitch." In Russian, he said it back to him.
He's just like, what
and
the
that
hell?
triggered him.
Yeah, that little Tarasov kid then just decided like, oh, we're gonna beat him up, kill that dog, and because it made noise, and then take the car. And then they roll up to Aurelio's John Leguizamo. He's like, "Where'd you get this car?" Immediately, he's like, "Where'd you get this car? Get out!" And he's like, "You struck my son." Yeah, why? Because he stole John Wick's car and killed his dog.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, he's like, and so God bless and rest in peace, Michael Nyquist. But he puts down the phone. It's just like, oh, like not even like what, like scared or like
completely
surprised. He's just
understanding
like,
as to why he got punched.
that's why my son
The way he
deserves
said
getting
it was
punched.
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah. And then like proceeds to berate his son as to what he did. He's like, the reason we're here is because of that guy, and you just went and did all this BS. And like he beat up his son too. It's like he killed this man with a pencil, an effing pencil. Like
who does that?
who does that? Yeah, it's just I was like, oh my god, like dude, that movie was. I don't know, man. I think Anthony and I, we saw this and we're like, dude, it was magical to see in the theater because it was just like these little pieces here all done put together. Like you see this man just coming out of the shadows, and these just little things, just really little details of this initial movie add up to just an awesome experience. That's my initial thing on it.
I mean,
That's my
from-
main takeaway.
From the outside, just hearing like the plot and like these lines that they're saying, you would think like, oh, this would be like such a dumb, cheesy movie. But it's done so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way he said that line, like, oh, and just like you could see the fear in his eyes.
Yeah, and like again, like you're right. The premise, according to with Zach, like, oh, this should be some cheesy action movie, and it turns like when you put a lot of effort and there's attention to detail and anything from set building to choreography to the line delivery to the small bits of world building built into that. Like when he first gets to the Continental, everything's just like he's like, whoa, there's a whole like underworld thing going on. That was so cool. And then of course we get Ian McShane, who's like the coolest guy.
The manager.
Freaking Winston. And that and Lance Reddick as the concierge. Like, I'm already like, dude, Willem Dafoe's in the movie. Adrian Paladecki is like this little small people are like, oh, this is great. They have Mayhem. Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
They got Mayhem. I always forget.
From Allstate.
You mean the what's his name? What was he in Brooklyn Nine-Nine? I want to say the Condor. It's not the Condor. The Vulture. He was the Vulture. Also, shout out to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Please watch that show. But yeah, like all that stuff added into great car chases, great action sequences. Like you got a taste of everything from like the gunplay in his house, where you're just like, oh, this
Yeah.
guy means business.
Shooting people through a wall.
He's just like, oh, I know my house. Like, this is done. Easy. And the whole club scene where he's going after the son and like how he's trying to sneak
yeah.
in. He gets Kevin Nash. He's like, oh, you working again, John? He's like, afraid so. He's like, oh, go on in, Mr. Big.
Take the night off.
He's like, you take
Yeah.
the night off. He's like, yes, sir.
That was the best. That was my favorite character in the first one.
Perhaps you should take the night off.
Thank you.
Those
Thank
guys.
you, sir.
Those guys in the bathroom, they get got.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got good. And he stole his phone. Yeah, like him, even the head of security still kind of takes it to John. You know, maybe he's rusty or anything, but like again, like attention to detail, like practical realism. When he falls off that balcony and lands on the dance floor, like that junk hurt. Like it looked like it hurt.
Ooh, yeah.
It's good
I
acting.
think didn't he have a gun in his waist too when he landed? Like he landed on the gun too.
I hope not.
But yeah, that just hurts everything. Yeah, and he's still like kind of cut. Who was the guy? Like, who was the guy who played the? Anthony had a really cool like piece of trivia about that one guy.
The head of security.
Yeah, for Tarasov.
For all three of these movies, it seems like the head of security is the badass of the movie. But yeah, the head of security in the first movie, he's he's a widely known within the stunt community, and him and Keanu have worked together for a while. He was one of the agents in The Matrix Reloaded, one of the three agents at the beginning of the movie, and he's worked with Keanu in multiple action movies. He's also, if any of you have seen the show Barry, he's in that one crazy episode where he's like the Taekwondo instructor.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's that guy.
And then they go,
and he has the insane daughter.
and the little girl says,
Yeah,
I remember
That
that
was a-
season 1 or is it 2?
probably two.
Okay.
But yeah, so he's just
Oh my
a
God, that
good.
episode from that was
So
from
he's good at doing action, and so like he was an actual like character in this movie, and you could tell. So it's like him and Keanu actually doing their stunts while they're doing the fight scene. It's just
He was also in Atomic Blonde.
yeah. And the directors of this movie, they're also from stunt coordinators and from stunt teams that have worked with Keanu since probably The Matrix or even before. So they all knew each other, and they're like, hey, let's try out directing. And I think this was one of their first directing movies.
David Leitch. The other guy.
David Leitch and
I always forget because the other guy doesn't get credited a lot of times, but
what's the other guy's name?
it's killing me right now. Danny. No, I'm kidding.
Who?
Stahelski. Chad Stahelski.
Chad Stahelski.
So I think both of them.
He directed the 2 and 3.
Right. I
John
think both
Wick.
of them did the first one, and then they kind of split and did their own. They started doing their own movies, and one of them did Atomic Blonde, which is a very similar movie to John Wick, like action style. And one of them also did Nobody, and Nobody is also very similar to John Wick.
That was
They're
Stahelski.
all those are good movies.
That was Stahelski because David Leitch did Bullet Train.
There you go.
There we are.
Nobody is another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nobody's great.
So yeah, so far for the past like 10 years or so, directing wise, these guys have been directing, pretty top notch action movies. Like the coordination of the action scenes are very well done. But, yeah, I like them.
And each one progressively got better.
Yeah.
Which
So I can't even wait. I don't even know what to expect for 4.
Which brings us to part 2. Danny, this is now the first time when we had gathered together to watch parts 2 and 3. This was the first time that you'd seen part 2. So what did you think? Like the opening, like just you're like, oh, this is where we're
Yeah, it just
coming from.
throws you right in. And like, you're like, oh, the first one was just like, this plot, and then what else could happen? But I did like how in the second one they did expand on this like lore of this underworld. And that was just the part that like was intriguing to such a simple story, you know.
The assassins and all their hotels and the coins.
Yeah, and how like
how like everything's under the high table, and the high table is in charge of all like
The
organized
rules.
crime.
It's like
and-
the hierarchy of everybody. It's like
yeah, and how you saw
pretty
it's
cool.
worldwide. It's not just New York City. Like,
Yeah,
there's all
that
these other
too.
pieces. Yeah,
we go
Italy,
to
yeah, Italy.
go to Italy. Yep,
I think Rome or the Vatican or something.
like hide through Vatican City to get into some stuff. Yeah, you get to the Rome Continental that Peter Serafinowicz is the sommelier. Like again, like everybody has these like dumb code names. He's like, oh, I got this the gun guy, and they're like, oh, I need to find a tailor. That's the body armor guy. I need an actual cartographer. It's like, oh, look, here's a map guy that we have on staff. Why not?
just
like-
every corner, one person just works for them. You know, like
Yeah, I mean, if you got the coin, again, if you got
Yeah.
the coin,
everyone knows the coin.
it's there. But like, yeah, the opening movie, the opening of the movie starts with him trying to get his car back,
Mm-hmm.
and proceeds to wreck his car.
That car lasted like 2 seconds.
No, like 4 minutes. It hurt. It's that whole sequence is beautiful. Again, like the car choreography into the fight choreography. But man, yeah, that Mustang hurt. It hurt to see the Mustang like that. Truly did. But
and the retelling of the myth of John Wick.
yeah, it's like, and it's funny because that's
He's a-
Tarasov's brother.
He's a true man of focus.
Yeah, it's like for anyone who, hey, for some reason, if you didn't see
Just
part
missed
one,
the first one.
like this is what happens with the second one right now, and like he gave a whole recap of everything. Like,
Yeah.
kind of awesome. And by he, I mean it's Peter Stormare, just being the most Peter Stormare like you could ever be. just it's just with the pencil. He does the pencil line
Was
again.
the pencil scene in this one, or was it in 3?
It was in,
It was at the end of the second
at
one.
the end of the second one.
Oh, okay.
Again, yeah, that's where you're like, oh, he can do it. Like this is wild.
Yeah, we actually get to see it.
Yeah, freaking sumo. Or they no, those
You got
two other
like
guys.
3 people with it.
It was
Yeah.
like one, and then used it on the second
Ugh.
one, and yeah, that's
Through the ear. Oh man.
man, yeah, that
That's
was him
nasty.
just trying to get like away from everything. Like he got back to New York, and he's just like, oh, I gotta get the hell out of
He
here.
needed to one up the Joker from the Dark Knight. He's like, I gotta
Yeah.
do a
Mag-
better pencil
It's
trick.
like magic trick. Nah, here we go. There's no magic. There's no illusion. You're gonna eat this pencil. There's no illusion there. But it was cool to see, like, yeah, like how you talked about how it brings in the lore by bringing in somebody from his past to like force him back into the world.
Mhm.
And he regrettably has to do it because of rules and honor and being bound to all this stuff. And it was it's really cool to see how it's like he's still like he can do almost anything, but he's still bound to this society, even though he literally got out beforehand. But that this introduced us to more characters, brought us a sort of reunion of sorts.
Morpheus.
Yeah, man, Lawrence Fishburne as the Bowery King, just all the pigeons, all the pigeon superhighway.
Like even the homeless are involved.
Yeah, exactly. There's even a network of homeless
But
bums
are they really home?
who aren't really
Ooh.
homeless.
Yeah,
They
it's
just
like
stake out the entire city. I love that. It's like they're chasing him, and he's just giving the coin. The guy's
That's
like,
it.
right here.
Hides him in the
He
garbage.
hides him in the garbage, and then like silence kills those 2 guys, and then 2 other bums come out of nowhere. It's like, let's take those bodies away. That's nuts. And like this man is sort of, he's like on the run, but like it's still like revenge, because now I need to take revenge on I don't remember the Italian guy's name, but I need to take revenge on that guy
Mhm.
to kind of like show that he slighted me. Who's like, again, head of security is mute Ruby Rose.
Oh,
What's his
that's right.
face? D'Antonio.
Yeah. Something Faust. No, I'm kidding. I was gonna make like the most offensive Italian name ever, but it's Santino
Yeah,
D'Antonio.
I think it is.
Santino.
I think.
It is Santino. Yeah, the fight sequence in the where's this place? Okay, so like, we're talking about like we're going to what Zach remembered, right? So remember the whole chase fight sequence with him in common, right? You
Yeah.
remember that? So that was in New York, right? Before they got to the subway.
Yeah, because
I don't know if they were already in Grand Cent. No, they weren't in Grand Central.
because
No.
they at the end of the fight,
was
it
three.
kind of just like ends breaking through the window, and they're in the hotel.
That's the first fight. Yeah, that
Mhm.
was the one where he's like, "Hey, Cassian." He's like, "You working,
Yeah,
John?"
that's at the end of the whole shootout. It was like a
Yeah.
20-minute.
Was that the end of the shootout?
Yeah.
I thought because then he
'Cause
goes
at the
to
end of
New
the shoot-
York, and then the fountain goes down, and Cassian's there, like, "Yo, what up?"
That's near the end of the movie, but I'm saying the first time they fight is at the end of
Yeah,
the assassination / shootout, and then he chases John Wick, and then they fight, and that whole thing is like almost 30 minutes.
and they just go
30
downstairs.
minute fight
They're
sequence.
they're throwing each other into cars, kicking away guns, and they just throw themselves into the Continental. But that whole like escape sequence ahead of time, like you saw, like the planning and everything, where he just like, "Oh, I'm gonna run away, but I'm gonna have like all the backup guns." Like he went nuts with that shotgun, with that Benelli.
Ooh,
Just
yes.
And
That's-
how he reloaded.
Oh, when you were saying like he left like the gun as he was.
yeah, it's part of his
Backing
escape
away,
route.
yeah.
And so like there was, he did one of those where just like, I'm gonna just shoot, just shotgun everybody, reload,
Mhm.
the quick reload back in, and just dude
Save the dessert
nuts.
with the knife.
Yeah, he saved the knife for dessert. It was
Like, how do you want your suit? Tactical.
tactical, like, and just Keanu Reeves' delivery, like a lot of his line, like he doesn't speak a lot, but it's just I love how every time he does say something, it's meaningful. It's not like grandiose or profound. It's just, like just one of the characters he fights, and they're like, "Oh, they'll be seeing you, John." He's like, "No, you won't." Like, no, you won't. And like when they have their cool off from the fight, and they're both drinking their like preferred drinks. Like he orders Cassian's drink. He's like, "Oh, you're still a bourbon man," and whatever. Like he's just very light, polite talk, but firm. Sorry, not polite, but firm and direct.
And how many languages does he speak?
Yes.
He speaks like
All
speaks,
of them.
yes.
five languages.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you speak more than one language? Yes. Just-
Yes. More than one language. He speaks all of them, as we see in the next one. But like part two, again, like I love part two for the world building. They're showing more and more of it. Like there's all the different factors and all these people of various levels, and like you said, there's a hierarchy to this stuff, and I think that's what makes it cool beyond just the crazy over the top action with the the loud gunplay.
It draws you in.
Yeah, it really does. And then like he has to go back from Rome to New York, and then he has a hit on him, and that's where we get the sort of battle royale of everybody trying to close out that contract on John Wick, and that's where you get the at the bar the pencil kill.
Mhm.
Dude, he killed that sumo guy like 8 times, and he kept coming back up.
Oh my god.
The jerk brother is like, "Oh, cool. Thanks for killing my sister. That was your job. Now I'm gonna put a hit on you."
Yeah, he's just like, "Oh, it's only fair." You're like, "Wow, it's kind of a dick thing to do," but also, you know what I mean? It's like, you're really gonna do that? It's like, well, who would I be if I wouldn't? Like, he's like, "Okay, buddy." Like, like it would have cost him nothing to just be like, "All right, cool." Like, like, be done. Bye. Like, I can live with this, but no, like now I'm gonna try to flip it over. Like, he had to waste money to pay somebody to try to kill him. Like, the more I think about it, the more how stupid he is. I was like, yo, you're dumb. Like, you know what I mean? Because would other people in the high table be like, did you kill your sister? I was like, no, John Wick did. Where did he get that idea? I had his marker, and so, you know what I mean? Like the more you think about it, it's like, no, you're a moron. Like,
Yep.
It's just, like that. Yeah, that just makes me just kind of bummed out because then the extra lengths he has to take in part 3.
Zach, what was your favorite part of the second movie?
Favorite part.
Reflections of the Soul. That whole sequence was great and confusing because you never really.
Or
know.
the first movie.
reflections.
The first movie first. Since this was your first time watching it, all 3. What was your favorite part of the first and second movie?
On the spot,
Damn.
Zach in deep thought.
I don't know.
Damn.
Machine.
So
I-
is
We'll
it
circle back
because
to it.
the movies were that good, or because you're like, damn, they didn't have any good parts?
I just can't remember like good chunks of the movie.
What about
Mm.
the subway fight in New York between him and Common, or Cassian as a character, and then he finally like
You're shooting by
hits
the hip.
him. Yeah, like he no, but like yeah, that's the whole like
And
they
then
try
the
to shoot him, and the
Yeah.
fight in the subway, and then he stabs him, but like doesn't kill him, and he's just like, if you remove it, you're dead. Consider
'cause
it
he
a
got him in,
professional courtesy.
Yeah, because you got him in one of the arteries, I think.
Yeah, and so you can't pull it out. So he's consider
It's in
this
your aorta.
consider this a professional courtesy. Like
The way he's
and then like you just see him there, like he kind of smirks. He's like, damn, he got me. Like
I hope he's in the next one.
I hope he's in 4. That would be kind of badass. But then
because they
who
don't
he
show
be?
him like
he didn't
didn't
die.
die.
He's not dead.
Yeah.
No, he was breathing.
I feel like
He was
he's gonna
just
come
Yeah,
back.
he just kind of stays in the
Yeah,
subway.
he stays in the
he's like-
subway. He's like, yeah, I can't move this. Yeah, he checkmated
Sure,
me.
someone
Like,
He
maybe.
probably
Gotcha.
walked to one of the Continentals and it was like, I need help. And they fixed him.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it'd be great, crazy if he could walk. Maybe limited walk.
I'm sure he could walk. It'll just hurt.
Yeah, but yeah, he's better than being dead.
I mean, everyone has super.
Yeah, and that was the whole.
He's head of
sequence.
security. So.
Yeah, yeah, like that was the whole sequence. After all of that, then he found the Bowery Kings network, and then he's just like, oh, here's a gun because you saved my life or whatever BS, and here's 7 bullets. Go nuts. And it's crazy when you get to that final sequence where he goes after Santino. He does indeed only have 7 bullets, and then he just gets rid of the gun, and he just grabs another one.
Well, yeah, he wasted it all within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because but all those guys are dead. It's great. It's great. Like, he's like, oh, he knew what was going on.
In this one, I
Yeah, what about you,
definitely
Danny?
see the improvement in the gun work. I feel like, well, one, they had more variety of guns,
This is true.
but just like how tactical he was with them was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, especially the with the assault rifle. Like he had a little bit of it in part 1, but there's more.
Yeah.
Like he
Well,
had
you got an assault rifle,
Yeah.
a handgun,
a
a shotgun,
a knife.
knife. You got all the weapons here.
He had a pencil.
I liked when he was underground and mid trying to reload the shotgun and then more people to come. He would just move the shotgun to the side and then quickly shoot with the handgun.
Oh,
It was so cool.
the one guy that he killed,
Twice.
Like he
holding him
shotgunned him.
down while he's
Yeah,
reloading.
he pinned him down, reloaded,
and-
and shot him again. It was like
Yeah.
unnecessary.
I was like, this is
But it was.
unnecessary roughness. Yeah, that was
There's a lot of that in this one.
And then we get to the very end of all that, and he finds Santino in the Continental, and just kind of gloated in like, "Oh, I'm on base. You can't touch me."
Tag.
Tag, I'm not base, son. And then John said, "F base, the base of your skull with this bullet." And Winston's just like, you gotta
you
go.
It's against
Go,
the
man.
rules.
It's like you
I'm-
broke the rule.
You broke the rules,
You can't
John.
kill on continental grounds.
And he's like, I didn't care. F this guy. Like that's how much hate he had in his heart.
Oh, and he got a new dog.
The same dog
Yeah.
that rescued from part 1.
Yeah.
That little pit bull with a kind of limp, the cutest dude.
205, dale.
And still has no name.
Just dog.
He's just dog. He's dog.
Good dog.
And that dog was good at being good dog. Like he must have been trained before it got put in that kennel.
Yeah, that last sequence of them just running together, that dog would not.
That dog's like, I'm
Ooh.
going with you. I don't know where we're going. We're going with you. And Winston giving him the grace period, and then again you see the whole like old school teller system or like not teller system, but like almost like a old like journalism like radio board, and they're just like okay switchboards and everything like oh John Wick excommunicado, and then boom here's a hit on him, and you just see everybody like
It's
I-
go time.
yeah.
I think this was like
I like how it ended.
my
though.
favorite ending of them.
Yeah.
Just because how high stakes it was at the end, and like kind of like a cliffhanger at the end.
Yep.
You're like, damn, the next one's gonna be.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and you're rolling like damn, like and it hooks. You're hooked. You're like damn, I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
And then
Zach,
it was-
I think you liked the part where they had the festival going on outside in Italy, and there was a band going on, and then you find out that they're playing like the theme song, but they're singing it. I think that was your favorite part.
Theme song.
Yeah, like the
Yeah, like
main
the
theme,
theme
like the
of
main
John
theme
Wick.
of the
That
John
was
Wick
singing?
movies.
And it kind of blends in.
Yeah, it
then
blends
the
in, and then
score.
like she actually like makes lyrics to the theme song.
and then they
You
get,
don't remember that?
you don't remember
I
that
don't.
as he's
Wow,
getting
man.
into
I think
the
you brought it up
It was
while
only
we
like
were-
a couple weeks ago.
it's when they're getting he's getting into the venue to find
Yeah.
Santino's sister.
We gotta rewatch it.
Gotta
I
rewatch
do,
the
yeah,
movie.
my memory is.
I think you
just-
mentioned it while we were
I
watching.
did. I was like,
Yeah.
guys, it's the theme song.
Yeah, that was for your entertainment as well, because I had seen that already. Yeah, and yeah, I agree. Like, I like how part 2 ends, because it's like, oh man, like
tables have
it's bad.
turned.
Yeah,
How
it's
the turns.
The turntable.
how the turns tabled. No, and from there, like, lucky you guys didn't have to wait 3
The
years.
high table.
Or, wait, was it
What?
3 years between 2 and 3?
2 came out in 2017. 3 came out in 2019.
19.
Yeah,
you have to
only 2
wait
years.
2 years.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you did not have to wait.
Even though these movies take place within like a week and a half.
Yeah,
Not even.
Like 2 weeks, I think.
I think between
like a couple
Well, the
days.
third movie, I think is
right
1
after
week.
this. Isn't it like right
No,
after
no,
the second one?
No, I'm saying like the third movie takes place in a week.
Okay.
because
on its own.
the
Right, right, right.
adjudicator comes in. We're going straight
She's
to
like,
part
she
3.
has, like, you
She's
have
like, you have
7
7 days to get your stuff in
Right,
order.
right.
Yeah, but then like the 2 previous movies, I think take place also within a week. But then 2 goes right into 3.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah,
like
like
a 2
3
week
starts
story.
literally right as he's
Mhm.
running in this.
And
the end of
Yeah.
the
The
second one.
beginning is so good.
Dude,
He had the hour.
okay, so now let's go right into part 3. I want to know what you guys thought about the first like 30 minutes of nonstop,
Just dialed to 11.
nonstop, not the movie nonstop, but nonstop
Oh,
action.
man.
Like from what I can remember, the intensity of him like trying to hide, and everyone's just like he walks by people, and then every other person just kind of turns around and looks at him with this like
Yeah, like everyone knows
like-
who he is.
like you're like, I'm coming after you.
TikTok, Mr. Wick.
and
TikTok.
and then he's running at, did he have the dog with him? Yeah, he did have the dog with him.
He
right?
Well, he
at
gave
one
the
point
dog
he
to the
dropped it off to
No, he went to a taxi and said, "Hey, taxi man, here's a coin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Leave the dog off at the Continental." And then he got out of the taxi.
because all
Yeah.
taxis, I
Yeah.
guess,
They know.
They know, like, oh, if I get this coin, I work for the assassins.
Yeah, and then basically where he's at, and like where he has to like talk to, or like he's trying to get away, and like, oh, I still have an hour, but some guy at the library, because he needs to go to the library to get something, like
Oh, that's right.
yeah, and the guy
Oh,
comes like,
yeah.
oh, who's gonna wait for a few minutes? Who's gonna know if it's a few minutes? And
Basketball
The
player.
book.
freaking Boban Marjanovic. It's like, I've never seen it. It's like, the hell's Boban what's he doing in this movie?
Because he's huge.
To his credit, like
He's huge.
he kept up with the choreography.
He's so
He did
big
pretty
that
good.
he was just like palming his face, like
He was
under his
doing-
face.
He was doing the big bully moves on John Wick. You're just like,
He was stiff arming him. He's like, you can't
And then
get
he
me.
got his face like
touch me.
destroyed.
He got booked.
He got
got learned.
he got wrecked by words.
He got learned.
Yeah. The power of the written word in your mouth and breaking your jaw. Like, his jaw broke first before breaking his neck. I was like, what a kill. Like, this movie really dialed, like, if you thought like some of the kills were kind of like creative in part 1 and 2,
Nah, the kills in this
nah.
one, right?
Part 3 brought it to, like, if Danny was talking about, oh man, part 2 is the next level, like part 3 had like some of the wildest kills.
I feel like part 2 was like mainly a lot of gunplay.
Yeah.
A lot of gun
I agree.
moments. And
This
part
one was
3 is like
more.
Everything.
a lot of martial arts, a portion of gunplay,
A
and then
portion.
more martial arts.
I think it was a mix of both, like,
Yeah.
really well, especially like when they go to Morocco and then into
That's
the final
right.
sequence.
2 portions.
Yeah,
2 big portions of gunplay.
massive portions, alongside some of the coolest things I've ever seen in a movie, which was, let's put dogs in an action sequence.
Oh, those were awesome.
Yeah.
That, like, those like, I don't know
Halle Berry.
whatever army you are, like, yeah, like Halle Berry's dogs, there's like, you can't win against that. Like, they're too low, so you're like, oh, you're too fast. They're going straight for your shooting arm, and then with so much speed, they drag you and pull you down. And it's just like, okay, you're dead. Like, that was checkmate, like, on like so many guys.
That whole sequence with the dogs, and then like, so you're focused on the dogs killing everyone, and then it just switches to them fighting,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden around the corner comes another dog, and
And
it's
just like,
It's like, oh,
there's no way.
there's another pair of balls that I could bite. And
Yeah, just
they
get
just like
wrecked.
jump toward the guy shooting at them.
Like one of them like literally like their pants were bleeding
Mhm.
because of
Yeah.
being
Yeah,
bitten.
because they're going
Yeah,
in
that's-
there.
That's how they're trained.
And other animal kills, like, again, that whole opening sequence of John running away from everyone in New York City, and trying to get to, to this next point. But like, everything from like the Chinese dudes running after him, and then he like assembles a gun just to murder the one guy that gets over, and then he like fights him in that small hallway, and then decides to axe the guy
and the knives
and the
axe.
knives.
that's right.
Dude, that guy became a pincushion. Like,
I just love how it got to the point where between him and all the guys fighting him, they just turned and looked at all the glass, and they're like, let's break all the glass to get these knives out.
yeah, they just look around, I was like, just grab stuff.
To
But,
me,
like,
that was a very like Jackie Chan type moment where it's like in the middle of the fight, you have this
Just
like
grab
little
something and like,
comedy beat to
it's a
like
bit of
to
comedy.
use with the action. So.
Yeah, and it was enough. So like again, like it rides the line where it's not cheesy. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
this was cool, but also, hey, this is kind of like a gritty, serious story you're trying to tell here, and then there's more world building. Like you have like the High Table sending someone to judge all the people that helped John Wick. You have the whole idea of what the Continental is as its own separate like network. You have the fact that there is someone who sits above the table, and you also have the guy who makes all the coins in like Morocco. Like it's a whole smelting operation, played by Jerome Flynn, who is in
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, and now he's
from Game of Thrones.
He's also in 1923. He's really good in
He's
that show.
old.
I mean, there's just like in the second one, they did add a bunch to the cast.
Yeah, they added a lot of cool. Halle Berry's in here.
Mhm.
You have the guy. I forget his name.
Lawrence Fishburne is back.
Yep. Angelica Houston. How do I forget Angelica Houston? That was cool because then you find out more about John himself. That like he was part of these like Romani. They said like the Ruska Romani, so like kind of like Russian Romani.
Mhm.
And then like he kind of got into that life, and you see like, oh, you're a theater and a ballet troupe. No, you have the guys back there learning Russian sambo and all the other techniques. You're like, oh, that's where he got it from. So like you see a lot of this stuff. It's too cool.
The Iron Chef is the bad guy.
Yeah, the Iron Chef's nephew, who is he's like one of the head assassins.
He's a fanboy.
Mhm.
He's a fanboy of John Wick. Dude,
That
And
final
his
fight,
guys-
His two cronies, those are the guys from the Raid movies,
those two
and they're
guys,
crazy. They're
those
The ones that
Indonesian
disappear?
guys.
yeah,
Yeah, that
Come out
disappeared
of
and appear
nowhere.
again.
Yeah, the two guys that were like they were ninjas that would just disappear and come out of nowhere, and they were also fans of his. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we can't wait to fight
Yeah,
you,
it's
Mr.
like,
Wick.
hello, Mr. Wick, and he's just like,
I mean, the final fight sequence alone, just like, one, like the amount of action that they fought, but like the humor in him, like being like
Going
oh.
through all the
Yeah,
the
going through
glass.
all the glass. Just stop it. Like you could see in his face, he's like, make it stop. You had we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but like, yeah, like everything. He goes to Sofia in Morocco, and that whole action sequence is badass. You have the Iron Chef that goes and like, kind of enacts justice, the adjudicator's justice. He's also good at as a sushi sushi prepper, and he can cut fugu really well. So he knows what's up. But yeah, like you see those pieces of action. It's not just Keanu Reeves doing stuff. So you have other people getting in on it. And then you have everything kind of goes full circle. John has to find the one who sits above, and he has to swear loyalty. Cuts off his freaking finger. Like that was the wedding ring finger. I was like, damn, like
messed up.
it's thematic. There's a small attention to detail.
He gets branded from Angelica Houston.
Yep. Yeah, he's branded as like a "you're no longer welcome." You have like he gets his suit back, or he's like, "Welcome back to the suit," and
all black.
they have that line that says like, I will serve, I am of service. So it's like there's a code to this kind of stuff. Then you have, man, this like that leads up to more of just that final fight in the Continental, where it's just balls to the wall action, like all the gunplay, like oh my
the
god,
heavy armored dudes,
yeah, like the
super SWAT team.
super SWAT team with like the body armor that like militaries around the world wish they have.
Although he made it look easy.
Yeah, it's just,
Well, at first he was like, they're not going down. He's like, we need more guns.
yeah, and he kept shooting at them just to knock them down and buy himself more time. Like it was so like. It looks so cool. It was so cool, like seeing how practical he had to be. Like, oh snap, go through here. Then he had to find all the kinks in the armor. Literally, like, let me shoot under here, shoot through the helmet, through the neck. Like, just he had to get surgical with that. And he's like, Winston, like, and then Winston's there sipping cognac and just
with
like
the dog.
with the dog, just hanging out.
I
Him and-
really like that Karen and Lance Reddick's character got in the action too. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna get all these
He's
shotguns.
awesome.
He's like, I'm gonna get this shotgun and just like
steel bearing
smoke fools.
slugs. Yeah.
yeah,
Which
he
then-
was, he was cool.
Then they proceeded, dude. Okay, we talk about shotgun. There were some kills in that next sequence, man. That
Unnecessary.
dude, that guy who fell from the balcony is like, why'd you shoot him 3 times? He's dead.
I think he shot him twice, and then while
While
he was
he
falling,
landing.
he shot him another 3 times. Like, man,
He was like, F that guy in particular. I hate this man. I'm gonna kill him 18 times. And then like you saw one where some guys, I never noticed it until like this most recent watch. This guy's head gets blown clean off. Like that I never noticed. And that was nuts.
The head was blown.
I was like, oh, he's
I
gone.
mean, point blank.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Right.
that dude
Right.
is armor piercing steel slugs. Like, yo, he's done. Yeah, like the creativeness of the shotgun, and then the fight with the Iron Chef. But that was like that fight was cool because it was almost like he was like adapting and learning to all the different techniques. It's funny because then you beforehand he fights the 2 top henchmen from the raid, and after he beats them and they're all just like broken, they're like, I can't move. Like he
He
tells
also
them,
kind of like tells them like, we're done. Like,
he's
like, he doesn't kill them. They're like, all right. we're
he's
good.
like, I got you. And they're like, yeah, I can't fight anymore. You broke my back. And then they look and he's just like BCing you, but in Indonesian because the man speaks every language.
he knows everything.
He knows everything.
And shout out to the other Matrix Union with the Keymaker. He was the doctor that helped
Randall
patch
Park?
him up. Yeah.
No,
No.
not Randall Park.
Randall
Wow.
Park.
He's like, that's racist. It's something. No, Randall Duck
Something
Kim.
Park?
Is it Randall Duck Kim?
I don't remember his name. I just know he was the Keymaker in the Matrix Reloaded, and he was
Randall Duck Kim. I was right. Shut up.
Well,
The
he's
second-
a Randall. He's a Randall.
He's a Randall Duck Kim. Randall Park, please don't listen to this. I'm a big fan of your work. Please don't take offense that I confused you with Randall Duck Kim.
Asian Jim.
Asian Jim. Yeah, basically Asian Jim. Dude, he's too good.
Agent Wu.
Asian
Too
Wu.
good.
Or Randall Park in Young Rock. He's just
He plays himself?
He plays himself, dude. It's ridiculous. Like he's like almost like a hyper realized version of himself. Anyway, and then finally in the end we get this whole like another how the turntables situation, and dude, everything broke John Wick's fall after that, and then they're
Dude.
like go look for the body, and then the homie's gone, and they're freaking out again. Well, not Winston. Winston's like, oh,
He's like, I
don't
knew that
know.
would happen.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. It's like, yeah, like I remember the internet for the longest time, guys. When this movie part 3 came out, they're like, did he mean to do it on purpose? Like they're trying to analyze every
Like,
detail.
yes, of course.
And it's like, was it on purpose that he didn't shoot him straight in the head?
Yeah,
or anything
yeah,
like
for
that.
sure.
Like,
Probably shot
Yeah.
him in the part that it would block.
I took it as he did it like that way.
He did it to make it look like
he was
would kill
wearing.
him.
He was wearing.
Yeah,
his
well-
bulletproof-
Yeah.
well, he's
Yeah.
got to die. I was like, oh no! And then like he falls over. Even Charon's like, nah, it'll be fine. Like he wasn't even like that shocked. He was like, oh, he's got a plan. Like that man's not.
Yeah.
And when they noticed that the dog left, he was like, nice.
He's like, yeah, like Winston. Look, he's like, all right.
He'll be back.
Yeah, then you have what's his name? pick up John Wick and bring him back to Lawrence Fishburne. And so,
That's right.
they took a finger.
That was
like,
a plot twist right there.
yeah, man. So then that sets us up for part 4.
Which
Man.
should be coming
Can't
out
wait,
soon
man.
this
Can't wait.
year.
In
Comes out in March, guys. Comes out
In a month.
And you could expect bigger cast,
Oh yeah, that cast
bigger
is stacked.
action,
That-
more world building,
Better ingredients.
better
pizza.
Papa Juan, dude, like
Papa
Just-
Wick.
Papa Wick, Baba Yan. I don't know, man.
According to Keanu Reeves, obviously he's gonna be selling his own movie, but he says this one's even crazier than all the other ones.
I could
That's
see
There's
Crazier
it.
than
even-
3.
That is,
like,
there's more action in part 4.
I could believe it.
Yeah.
dude.
I'm curious since Zach and I saw 1, 2, and 3 at home. It'll be cool to see this one in theaters,
Mm-hmm. Dolby.
just to get it in Dolby.
Dolby. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Full
40x.
audio quality.
40x, you might get poked in the back 50 times. Huh?
You get shot,
Every
in the back.
shot.
You get shot in the back.
40x might just be the move, guys.
John Wick 4DX.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Look, man, like as crazy.
Donnie Yen's in it. That's all.
No, dude. I'm gonna
The
go
cast
through here right
is
now. The
ridiculous.
cast is stacked, and it's for us who like really pay attention to action movies. Like, so you have obviously you have Donnie Yen, Bill Skarsgård, and you're like,
Which,
oh,
that'll
okay,
be
Pennywise, man.
yeah, it's interesting stuff. Lawrence Fishburne coming back, Hiroyuki Sanada,
Oh,
that's
too
Scorpion.
Too good.
Shamir Anderson, I've seen him in something else, but I can't remember. Obviously, Lance Reddick, Scott Adkins.
Oh,
Yep. So you know there's
Very
gonna be some
good.
good kicks. Obviously, Ian McShane, Marco Zawart,
Oh.
Natalia Tena from Harry Potter and Game of Thrones.
Shamir Anderson is from Invasion,
Oh,
the Apple TV Plus series,
There we go.
Nice.
That's why
which he was pretty good in
them.
that.
Clancy Brown as
Oh.
I don't know who.
The
Oh
Cur-
yeah, he does show up in the
the
trailer.
Kurgan,
Clancy
That's
Brown.
freaking Kurgan and Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs.
And-
Lex Luthor, man.
Lex Luthor. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
The voice.
Yeah, of Lex.
he's Darth Maul's brother on Clone Wars. Anyway, I
Too good.
can go on and on. The man
Clancy Brown's
is
too good.
has a steep catalog. It's great.
But yeah, so this fourth one's gonna be incredible. So
But
can't wait.
Shout out to
Troopers.
Keanu and the really hard work that he does because he prepares for months and practices all gunplay and all the martial arts. So
Not the motorcycle stuff. He does that by nature.
he's a rider.
Just normal dude.
He's a normal rider,
Normal writer.
a ghost rider.
All right, and then
MCU
before we wrap
Yeah.
this up,
Wait. Before we wrap this up, I don't know if I was gonna jump the gun. Were you gonna switch to a different topic?
no,
No. Okay.
I was
Woo!
just gonna say, real quick, let's go through which one was your favorite of the three.
Oh, the movie.
Yeah, just real quick, just
Who's first?
I'll go
We'll go in
first.
order.
I'll go first, but I'll start with my least favorite. Part 2 because they wrecked the Mustang. I'm kidding.
No, what's your most favorite?
My most favorite's 3. Easy.
Okay.
Like that's the perfect blend of everything. The from across. Like when I knew the movie was awesome was because it was going to be amazing because of two things from the opening sequence. One, the from downtown axe throw that was unnecessary but also awesome, and two, when he slaps the horse to kick that guy
Oh,
to
that's
kill.
right.
Like
There's a couple of those.
there
yeah.
was I was just like,
Couple
dude, we're
horse
done. Like
kills.
I was already like, dude, this movie's cemented as the best of the best of the series so far. And that was before we got to Sophia and the Dogs, the Continental Showdown. It was just too good. And before even the addition of the extra side characters, like, yeah, 3 hands down is my favorite so far.
cool. Anthony,
Same, part 3. Just the action. Like part 2 had a lot of good action, but I felt like it was like large chunks. And I felt like 3 had a lot, but it was spread out more, and it just felt like the pacing was a lot better in part 3. And I like the variety. I like that it was a mix of different weapons, different martial arts, and guns and knives, axes. But yeah, I really
Horses.
like the motorcycle part, and they like the sword gang chased after him on the motorcycles, and he somehow
From Grand Central.
destroys everybody
yeah,
Yep.
while using a sword on a motorcycle. So that was one of the many cool scenes of that movie. But yeah,
That was
Part 3.
that scene on the bridge too. That one I had seen. I'm sure like I think it was on
it's
Instagram
probably
or
one of
something.
those like making of how
You
they
saw a
did this.
clip
Yeah,
of the
and they
trailer or
show-
something.
Yeah, they show like a side by side with the final shot and then like
The
the
green
green
screen.
screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stage
It,
they
it,
were
it
on.
came it came out good. I mean,
Yeah. It really
if you don't know, you probably wouldn't realize that it was green screen.
It took me a long time to figure out, like going behind the scenes, thinking, "Oh, this wasn't on a bridge. Like it was like, partially green screen." It's great.
part 3 for sure.
Part 3 for sure. Danny,
for me, although I do agree 3 is the better film, I did enjoy 2 a lot.
okay.
I like how it ended. I like the world building of it, like I mentioned before. So
I like
I'll
it.
stick with 2.
The pencil.
Okay.
You got the
The
You got
pencil.
the
pencil, the
pencil.
pencil scene.
Yeah, you got the pencil. You
So,
got the
that's my choice.
Italian Continental. Like, yeah, all the rules. It's great. Zach,
For me, I'm gonna say also the third one for pretty much the same reasons as you guys, and then on top of that, I liked how everything kind of flipped where now he's the target,
Mhm.
Yep.
and everyone's going after him, so he's trying to run, hide, and then kill those who do catch up to him and find him. I like that switch up.
Yeah. What did he say at the end of part 2? He's like, "Tell him I'll kill them, Winston. Tell him I'll kill them all."
Yeah.
He's just like, "I'm sure you will." So, yeah, man. I can probably speak for Anthony when I say that I was really glad to have watched them with you guys, because seeing people for like first time watch those movies and be like, holy crap, holy like expletive, whatever. It's amazing. Like this is like when you do action movies right.
Yeah.
It's so good. But with that being said,
Yeah.
we kind of that's a recommendation again for action. You know, you got to be okay with the the ludicrous amounts of gunplay and martial arts
Oh,
kills. But
wish he was in the next one.
yeah,
No ludicrous.
no ludicrous. That's Fast 10, unfortunately. But anyway, that would be our recommendation. Watch them now. Where on Peacock?
They
I
are
think
on
so.
Peacock
Right now, as of this episode, yeah, they're on Peacock.
Shout outs to the music, like low-key music's pretty good, and also the
true.
cinematography. These movies look good. It's like they have some good shots in them, man.
Yeah,
Part 4 also seems to have a lot.
they
of good
have some
shots.
really nice cityscapes. Yeah,
Most of the scenes are
Tyler
at
Bates
night,
music.
which came out really
Yeah,
good looking.
they
Like
look
the
nice.
lights and lighting on it. So
Yeah. Or like the rooms that he goes to, or like a lot of things that are kind of orchestrated and choreographed in a way, or put the little settings, like, and especially like part 2, like the whole like art exhibit piece,
Mhm.
the mirrors
glass
in part
mirrors,
3,
yeah.
his house in 1, and just like all the different like parts of the street level, the club that he was in, the church.
And the whole room at the end of the third movie with like the 3 levels of like bosses.
that was what Winston's office.
Yeah,
I
pretty
guess.
much,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, it's nuts. It's too cool.
Yeah, movies are too good.
Yeah, movies are amazing.
Watch them.
Absolutely, watch them. With that's a recommendation we'll give out. But now for the fun part of the format, we're going to throw it over to Anthony. Anthony's going to give us a recommendation for the group to kind of have it has to be a group watch, a movie for the group to watch, as well as you guys and girls and everything between that are listening and watching. So hit us, Anthony.
So for next week, I will be recommending that we watch the movie The Outfit. Came out last year, kind of low-key movie that not many people saw, but I believe it's currently on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So if you want to watch before next week so that you guys can listen and understand better what we're talking about, go right ahead. Amazon Prime, The Outfit.
The Outfit, starring Mark Rylance. I only heard about this. I never saw it, so I will definitely set some time. I'm interested for sure.
I'm interested. So we'll see how it goes.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
I think you guys like it.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully, do you think it's something that Zach is gonna like, or is he gonna be like, this is trying to be like Guy Ritchie?
No, he'll like it.
Oh,
Okay.
confident.
What?
Remember, he doesn't like Guy Ritchie.
Oh well.
What's the story
The
about?
Outfit.
It's
I
about
said he
outfits.
doesn't.
Oh no, I was gonna ask like
It's about
what,
outfits.
like what
Theme?
like the genre, like how would
Like
you?
Crime?
crime thriller,
Yeah. Crime.
but it's all in one location, and I like these movies.
Ooh,
Hmm.
that's interesting.
Kind of like The Whale, all in one location. Cool. All right. So yeah, everybody, go ahead. If you're listening to this, give it a watch, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on it for next time, just as much as we'll be sharing ours. So with that, thanks so much for tuning in. Grab your popcorn and stay tuned for next time. Thank you so much.
See you later, guys.
Like,